Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's Friday night and we are looking forward to a guest appearance today, and what an appearance. At the same time, it's going to be a show of mixed emotions because there's going to be some sad news to discuss later on. But to begin with, we'll start off with more happy news. And of course, when it comes to happy news this week in the world of sports, when I welcome my co-host, he's definitely going to gloat. He's going to be all over me. He is going to be rubbing it in my face. I know the gooners have been rubbing it in my face this whole week. Minhal al-Khafaji, go ahead. This is your moment. Go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Arsenal, alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. You have been over the past few weeks saying, bro, don't worry, Premier League is yours. Don't worry, Champions League is yours. And deep down, you are waiting for us to trip up.
No, bro.
Champions League finalists, first time in 20 years. And the way Everton, the greatest side in Merseyside, the greatest side to bless the land of Liverpool, just gave us the Premier League on a plate.
No, you've won the Premiership. You've won the Premiership. It's all done. It's all done. You're going to finish West Ham in a couple of days. And it's game over. And then, you know what? You're never going to stop reminding me. And then...
There's a reason
and then you beat Atletico.
There's a reason why I have this mug. It's a Bakar.
Did you say mug or smug?
Mug. Bakar. Because there's beef that's going to happen.
Oh my God, bro! You know what? I've got to give you guys credit. You're the kings. You were famous for being 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's your song, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Wasn't there a chant before? Good old Arsenal.
No,
there was a chant. There was a chant from many years back. Good old Arsenal, and the 1-0 to the Arsenal, and the way that Arteta has made sure that you guys score a goal and then just sit back. You have these dogged defenders. Gabriel fouls everybody and gets away with it.
You know what they call it? They call it haram ball because it's actually haram to play.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. But hey, it's got you results, and you're going to win the Premiership, and you're going to win the Champions League. Honestly, it's written for you. The draw that you've had, you're going to win the Champions League.
Listen, I've watched your lecture on Hasad and the Mu'awwidhatayn. the hadith of Imam Ali going down and reading.
My bro, we're never going to hear the end. We're never going to hear the end of this. I've just psychologically got myself ready that May is going to be difficult, and then Muharram's around the corner, and it's going to be a month of Masa'ib.
No, but
I suppose...
You said to me that I will never consider Arsenal a big club until they win the Champions League.
True. Until Arsenal win the Champions League, I'll never consider them a big club. You have to win the Champions League. It's only Chelsea in London who won the Champions League.
No,
I don't think there's any other club in London who's won the Champions League, is there? So you'd be the second club in London to win it. But you know it's gonna be an amazing final, two contrasting styles.
Yeah.
And you guys got a great month. And I'm not going to talk about Liverpool because, you know, we want to move on swiftly with the show.
Yeah, of course. I can imagine.
Yeah, I was at Old Trafford last week, man.
Were you between the mates?
No. I was obviously in our away end.
Uh-huh.
And after 15 minutes, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
We pin it back 2-2. And I'm just thinking, you know what? We've got this. And then all of a sudden these guys score, and then, you know, the WhatsApp messages on the groups.
Yeah.
And everybody's destroying me, man. Yeah.
Yes, Basri.
Rub it in, Basri. Rub it in.
Listen, Mehdi Nawam in that car full of 3 Liverpool fans, I don't know how he survived. I don't know how you didn't drop him off at the motorway.
He was rubbing it in our face. It's just been devastating. It's been devastating. But I suppose on a more positive note, at least on my end, in terms of sport, we've got a lot of people, you know, who've been successful in our community when it comes to sport. And, you know, we had the honor of having Ali Al-Hamadi joined us a few weeks ago. But this week, inshallah, I'm super honored. Honestly, I'm so happy that we have joining us a person who's a world-renowned personality. In UFC today, everybody knows his name. It's not just Conor McGregor and Khabib that people now know. No, they also know this person as well. And a person whose passion and dedication, both publicly and privately, I've witnessed personally. Let's have Basri a glimpse and an introduction to who's joining us today.
مولانا يا صاحب الزمان يا علي يا علي يا علي. Azerbaijan deserve be happy. Azerbaijan is the winners. We are assassin Azerbaijan. In front of these winners, we are humans, or we are winners.
Let's welcome, all the way in Thailand at the craziest hour, Assalamu alaikum, Rafael Fiziev.
Wa alaikum salam, brothers.
Who's that handsome guy next to you? I've seen this guy before. I've seen this guy before somewhere. But I don't know. It's just looking more Noorani. You guys, you're shining. You're shining. Muhammad,
When he
Qari,
come to
Fahim,
Phuket,
Akbar.
was his nur is like, he is more hot right now in Phuket.
The Noor is shining of the Qari, Muhammad, Fahim, Akbar. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Sayyidina, how are you?
I'm
Assalamu
good,
alaikum,
man. I'm
Habib
good.
Nihal.
And I'm
Good to
me
see
and
you all
Minhal
guys.
are super happy to have you guys with us
Hey,
tonight.
wallah.
Honestly, on the
pleasure.
Sayed Ammar Live, we try our hardest to mix our personalities, our discussions, our guests, and so on and so forth. And I'm so happy to have Rafa join us. Rafa, I'm going to call you Rafa from now on, not Rafael. You are a hero to so many, and that clip in particular is one of the reasons you're a hero, because of your pride to be a follower of Ahlul Bayt. And of course, on a personal level for me, having an Azerbaijani origin with, of course, Nakshawani, as you know, you and me have got that connection. When I need to use Nakshawani, Azerbaijan, I use it. When I need to use Iran, I use it. When I need to use Iraq, I use it. Sometimes even my friends tell me you use Saudi because you're a Sayyid. You say I'm originally from the Hijaz. But my Azari brother, tell me more about yourself and your upbringing as well. Because although you're from Azerbaijan, but you weren't necessarily raised in Azerbaijan. Am I right? Please tell us more.
Yeah. My life is a little bit, I'm like a nomad, like a real nomad, because I born in Kazakhstan. My family, all my family there still, all coming. Yeah, I lived there 10 years, and after I lived 10 years in Kyrgyzstan, and after 10 years in Thailand here right now. So I'm 30 years old, 10 years there, 10 years, 10 years. Maybe next 10 years I have to choose right now where I have to be.
It's amazing, about Azerbaijan, and I'm really looking forward to going to Baku very soon. Something amazing about Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is close to 3/4, of the country is Shia. And for the longest time, of course, because of communism and because of the ban on, practicing or public religion and so on, a lot of people even lost their identity. They lost their faith. And in many Azerbaijani households, it became interesting that the grandmother would hold on to their tashayyu while the grandchildren maybe didn't really know too much. Was there something similar maybe in your families where maybe your mother or your father would say, when we were younger, we remember our grandparents honoring Ahlul Bayt? Was there anything that you remember similar in your life?
Yeah, I have that. My father tell me the story, like, my family is not so religious. My mother and father, they're not so religious. I'm only the guy who religious in the family. Yeah.
Wow.
But the father told me the couple story when he was young, when he was kid. His grandma, every time when she drinks, she say Lanatullah for his dog Yazid. And
Yes.
she say
Lanatullah alayh.
Lanatullah for him every time when she drink. And tell me one story. I forget a little bit about that.
Say
I
لعنة
want to say,
الله
I
on
want to say
Yazid
it,
again, he'll
yeah,
come back.
I want to say it quick and I forget it, Yeah, but yeah, he told me a couple story from
That's
young years old.
amazing.
He
Because
remember
you know,
them.
I don't know if Qari Muhammad Fahim knows or Minhal knows, some of the greatest scholars in the Shia history, and especially in the 20th century, were originally from Azerbaijan. And if you look, for example,
Can I guess one of them?
Guess one of them.
Sayed Murtaza Nakshawani.
Said Murtaza Nakshawani, no doubt. He was from Azerbaijan, yes, of course. And of course, higher than him, and arguably the most famous in terms of the Maraja in the last couple of hundred years would be, of course, Ayatollah al-Khoi. Because Khoi is in Azerbaijan as well. And then you had, for example, we had Ayatollah al-Milani. Again, originally Azerbaijan, Ayatollah Lankarani. Azerbaijan, Ayatollah Khalkhali. Azerbaijan, Ayatollah Zanjani. Azerbaijan. And so you had a number of people who were either born in Azerbaijan or lived on the border of Iran, Azerbaijan, because obviously the borders and the nations all develop, and all these borders that we have originally, this is all part of the Persian Empire and so on. So it's amazing that many people in the Shia world, when they see now Azerbaijan Grand Prix, they're seeing Azerbaijan Four Seasons Hotel, Azerbaijan is a resort now where people go on holidays and so on. Many people don't know that Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam's daughter has a big shrine in Baku. Am I right, Rafa? I'm sure you've seen it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time when I go to Baku, I go ziyarah there. They have many people. They always have ziyarah there. Yeah.
MashaAllah.
And that's something beautiful for our listeners, that, if you're going to go on a family holiday, try your hardest to also find out about whether there's any heritage for the religion of Islam or the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam in that area. So from a young age, let's say you're growing up, as you said, in Kazakhstan, when do you really have that passion to say that one day I'm going to go towards, I think it's MMA and then UFC, isn't it? Is that the direction, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, I'm born in Kazakhstan, growing there, but all this time we always remember, like, from where we are, who we are. We are different here. This is not our land. Our land is far away from here. Yeah, and really, like, my family, all Azerbaijani people in the Kazakhstan, they say the traditional language and religion, because they, like you said on the beginning, like, this is communist, like USSR, the pressure that people, especially when Muharram, when have majlis, they not let you go to make majlis. That's why the Azerbaijani people in Kazakhstan, the dark time, or when night coming, we don't have a mosque still. Right now, we don't have a mosque. We have a mosque inside the house. Somebody that from.
So there isn't like public Husseyniyas for majalis?
Nah. We have a mosque inside the house of some of people, because they're coming from long time ago, 100 years ago, because they're not let you make majlis. That's why people at night time come to sit in house quiet with a fire and make majlis. That's how they say religion on that time. They stay quiet from communists. Yeah.
Wow.
Like back
And
to
for
Iraq.
you, yeah, Iraq, obviously.
Yeah.
Even Saudi Arabia, there were people who were living in Jeddah and Riyadh, predominantly, I would say, from the 80s till at least in the last, maybe even continues until today, where some of the majalis had to be held in homes. And you couldn't really tell a lot of people, So Iraq, of course, because of Saddam, and it really goes to show you, and we'll come on to this later in the show, the oppression against the Shia worldwide. But you yourself, when do you begin having this passion that I'm gonna be a fighter, I'm gonna be a warrior? When do you feel this?
Oh, it's from when I was kid. I love the sport. I watched the fightings. Yeah, I watched the movies where they fight. but I I make my decision to be a fighter, be a fighter, like start to train because I have bullied the in the school, the my classmates, they're bullying me.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's why I
interesting.
start training. Yeah, we moved from the village to the city, to big city, and I go to the school. And first day, I have beaten the one guy beat me. Just because he wanted, he came to me. He said like, "Hey, you want to fight?" I said, "No, I don't want to fight." And he beat me a couple times. Yeah, and after 2 days, I start to train. I start training because I want to pay him back. And after 2 months, I pay him back good.
I'm sure that guy is not going to fight you anymore. These days, I don't think that guy is going to have a punch up with you at all. Sometimes every time I look at Kazakhstan, Dagestan, all Kyrgyzstan, everything, is everybody a MMA fighter there? Like, is everybody a fighter? Because every time I turn on, there's a new one from the country. Like, what's going on? Is that part, like, you have your maths, you have physics, you have biology, English literature, history, and then you have MMA?
Bro, I don't know what happened right now because right now is very big hype. Everybody want to train. So in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Dagestan, everybody like where you have kid, first what they think, oh, he have to be a fighter or wrestler or boxer.
But don't
You'd be
forget Sayed.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sayed, I think because Rafael is probably the most known Shia MMA UFC fighter, but I think when I look at his comments on his page, there is so many MMA fighters that are in the UFC or just coming up into the UFC, especially when he released the Ya Ali one. There's so many of them in the comments commenting Ya Ali, Ya Ali. So I think the Shia are slowly taking over the sport.
Is this true? Is it true that there's a lot from the community over there who are slowly rising?
In Azerbaijan, you mean?
Yeah, so I've seen Shia fighters, MMA fighters, commenting on your post, and when I look at their pages, they're professional MMA fighters.
I think on his level, they have has not been somebody else waving the Shia flag as high as he is.
I'm saying they're up and coming. Yeah.
Yes, sure, for sure.
We have one more guy, one more good Shia brother. Is Nazim Sadegov. He is represent America. He represent US and UFC.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Azerbaijani also. Yeah,
Okay, sure.
He's growing in New York. He's in New York. He's my guy. He's my brother.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, he's also very
Make sure
good
you
Shia.
send my salams to him, and maybe we bring him on sometime.
He's gonna fight in Baku too.
Amazing. It needs Qari needs a reunion in Baku.
But you know when he's gonna have his next fight?
Huh?
Me and you, we're not gonna be there. June 27th.
That's crazy. His
next fight is very next. Yes, exactly.
Bro.
His very next fight is gonna be in Baku, UFC,
Ashura.
June 27th, day of Ashura.
Do you know what's crazy is that everything's happening on the day of Ashura. Iraq is playing day of Ashura.
Yes.
You're fighting day of Ashura. Bro, this is going to be the biggest test for everybody on that day.
Oh yeah. For me too. Like I right now I'm gonna just think about it. Like before we start talking, we talk with him, and I think like, okay, I wake up during Ashura day. I wake up in the morning, and last 6-7 years I wake up on Ashura morning, and what we have to do, like, until Zuhr, what we have to do. Like. But right now I have to fight night, This is 5 days. Yeah,
No,
I think I'm gonna go fight after Majlis, inshallah.
Straight after the Majlis. I actually had a couple of friends who've messaged me recently, and they're like, we're coming to your Majlis in Toronto. We heard you. I said, Baba, you ain't coming for me. You're going straight to the Iraq match. You're pretending you're coming for me. You're going straight to that match. You have no interest that I'm going to be there. But please, Basri, can we play that first clip again? I want to ask Rafa about this particular moment. What was he feeling? Just play the clip again so everybody can see it. Let's just hear his words again, then we'll ask him.
Azerbaijan deserve to be happy. Azerbaijan is a winner.
Maybe we lose my call.
Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. Rafa, tell us, what was happening at that moment? When was the first time you felt, you know what, this is the moment that I'm just going to say this? What was the first particular match or, you know, fight that you had where you said it?
I was inside the car. Yeah. Sorry. So, yeah, first I want to say like why I started screaming that so like emotional on that
Yes.
moment. Yeah. Because on the Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev, there was a seat on the close to the ring.
Mm.
Yeah. And I don't know, couple months before that, that happened when Islam Makhachev he posted something in the Instagram and put Nasheed like
Some ISIS
yeah,
music or something. Yes.
Yeah,
some
yeah,
ISIS,
yeah.
some ISIS music, and you know what they're saying, the pat the head for Rashida and all of that crazy
Correct.
stuff, and
But they are, of course, peaceful
after
people and they're all innocent.
yeah,
Yes.
and after I see that people there, and I was so emotional because I before I go to fight, I see this guy there, and I think like, okay, I'm gonna talk right now. After fight, I win, and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna say, here we have one guy. He won a cat head for Rafida for Shia, but right now he coming to Shia land and sit here like feel good hospitality, smile, you know. Nobody pressure him, nobody like talk to him. He come here, everybody respect him. But this is
Sure.
Shia land, you know. I want to tell that on that moment. But after, we are like when we invite somebody, we cannot make something bad to him. So
Correct.
he's a guest. I cannot say that. And like 5 seconds when I have microphone, I want to say that. And after I start thinking like, no, I cannot do because this guy is a guest here. I cannot say like that right now. And because I'm emotional, I start to screaming because I wanted this guys to hear that, you know. You wanna kill us? But we are here, you know.
Alhamdulillah.
Wallah
That's why
king.
Alhamdulillah.
emotional.
Wallah king.
Alhamdulillah.
Agent, uh,
No, that passion inspired everyone, as in wherever we'd go, and I'm sure Minhal will agree. Whichever culture we saw, whichever people we saw, the video was going around everywhere
Yeah,
and it inspired
everywhere,
so many
everywhere.
people. Because I think sometimes, you know, when a Shia is really proud of their identity, you will never know how much effect it has on another Shia somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Where if they watch it, all of a sudden they think, you know what, look at how inspiring this is and how amazing this is. I think what really also spread like wildfires, Basri, I'm sure you'll play for us right now, the ring walk, I think they call it, and the nasheed or the latmiya in the background. Basri, just play it, and then we'll ask Rafa what's happening over here. Goosebumps.
Yeah,
Tell us,
yeah.
what did you choose? Who chose it for you? Qari, maybe you can help us. What's going on here?
The only thing I need to say is this is Las Vegas.
Yes,
The
it's
people
Las
are
Vegas.
standing up. The American people who are present that day on that night,
Yes.
they have no clue what this is. But because of the energy, they stand up and they celebrate him already. He's already filling the whole stadium.
yeah, people really shocked on the moment because I remember I walk, I see around, I look around, people stand up, people think the people sung it,
Yes.
because the song is like many people same time.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure, sure.
and people stand up because everybody think this is a people make it from life, you know. Everybody stand up, shout like, and I'm goosebumps, you know, like wow.
Now, I just want to understand something. Normally, when we see like boxers or fighters come out, when you emerge towards the fight, you're walking towards do you choose? You could choose anything you want to play.
Yeah,
Anything,
anything
okay.
you want to
And the
play, yeah.
organizers, they don't care, like whatever you've chosen. They're fine with everything.
I never had trouble with that, but I don't know. Maybe if somebody wants some crazy music or something, I don't know, radical stuff. Maybe they're not allowed with that. Maybe
Yes.
if I put saying I should put Islam post, maybe they say no, you cannot do that. Yeah,
Has
but
has clip reached Muhammad Boujbar?
what you say?
The mullah who's the Latmiya this is. Has this video reached him yet? That
Yes,
this was in Las Vegas and everything.
yes, it has. I know them personally.
Ah, good.
Yeah. You know, he means Muhammad Bushbara. He's heard about you.
Yeah, I met him after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
Ah, you
Ah,
met him.
nice.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I
Nice. Yeah,
met
because
him after in
I
Azerbaijan.
yeah, I think I saw a video of him, like he was super inspired by, having seen this video of his nasheed being, but it's something amazing. And Qari Fahim, you mentioned about how people, anything, energizes them. But when it comes to a latmiya, it doesn't matter who you are. Even Sneeko, I remember during Shahr Ramadan, was playing a lot of latmiyas, and he was like, doing the latum to them, and he was saying this thing is the most passionate. And it doesn't matter who you are, you can walk past it and you're intrigued by it. And I'm sure there's many people who've asked you, what was that was played? I'm sure people who are not even Shia asked you as well, yes?
Yeah, yeah. I have some no religious, no Muslims. They send me the messages. Okay, can you send me your workout music?
Wow.
That's
I just,
amazing, man.
yeah, that's funny.
Alhamdulillah, I'm super happy. And even there's one more clip which was so inspiring. Again, here you've got this one clip where you're just like showing your passion for Ahlul Bayt. Once again, Basri, just play this one.
Ammar
يا الله يا الله يا الله يا محمد يا علي أمير المؤمنين.
I'm here with the winner, Rafael Fiziev.
Legend, Ya Ali.
يا الله يا الله يا الله يا محمد يا علي أمير المؤمنين.
I have a story with this, by the way. So me and my brother, we stayed up to watch this fight. Okay, so this was after me and you, Sayed, had met Rafa in Dubai, and
Yes, we
we'd
had
taken
all been
pictures and we
chilling in
posted
Dubai
them on
together,
Instagram. So me and my brother, we stayed up to watch the fight, and when Rafa won the fight, my brother heard Ya Allah Ya Muhammad Ali, and my brother just went to me because he's Shi'i. I was like, well, you didn't know.
Bro,
I
you
was like,
couldn't
that's
get
one
more
of our
Shia.
boys.
You couldn't get more Shia than Rafa, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
swear. Something absolutely amazing. Recently, been a bit of a difficult time recently. Been really unlucky in these fights. It's amazing how one moment you're so close to winning, and then all of a sudden it just takes one unlucky moment. How have you recovered psychologically from the last few fights?
This game, this MMA game, this is always can change for 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you can be lucky, sometimes unlucky, man. Yeah, and every second you're in danger. But what I can do, like Imam Ali alayhi salam, like he said, this life always change. It's every day change, everything change every day,
True.
non-stop. I cannot say this hadith. I know this in Russian, but in English, I'm sure you know that this beautiful hadith about, uh, and this make me, because every time after loss, I'm very depressed because for me it's very very close. But yeah, I just one hadith I read from Like his life always changing, non-stop changing.
No, alhamdulillah. You know, I know how much reading you do, how much you're interested in learning from lectures, learning from clips. You know, and ultimately, this is your identity at the end. You know, alhamdulillah, the sports, this is great. But your identity at the end comes down to, you know, your worldview, and that is from the lessons you learned from Muhammad and al-Muhammad, salawatullah wa salamu alayhim. And this you continue to do, and you continue to make us proud. And alhamdulillah, you've done ziyarah now. I think you've done ziyarah Iraq. You've done anywhere else the ziyarah of the Ahl al-Bayt?
Only Iraq.
Only Iraq. Inshallah, God blesses you. That, you know, maybe we can all go together, ziyarah to a number of the holy shrines. All of us together. Qari, great to see you as well. We're together inshallah next month in Muharram for the first 10 nights in Guelph, just off Toronto, Canada. Are you ready?
Yes, inshallah. Looking forward.
Looking forward to it as well.
One thing, if I can say, Rafa Habibi, your fight is on the 10th of Muharram, Ashura. So just imagine in front of you is Shimmer, but don't kill the guy, please.
Bro. I'm gonna imagine my opponent is a Shimmer, bro.
Yeah, imagine he's in front of you.
I'm gonna
That's
imagine
Shimmer.
this one.
And then your last knockout fight, you just say, "Ya Ali, I'm dying."
And this could easily result in this program being sued by the lawyers because of that one section. But alas, thank you so much.
I want to tell one story, guys. I want to tell one story. One time, I have sparring in Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And so we have sparring, and the guy comes to me. I see his face, like Arab face. And honestly, his face, like, a little bit, like, not good, you know. Like, no noor.
No noor, yes. Not like Minhal's face, yes.
And like, he came to me, hey, salam, like, can we work with me? I say, yeah, please. And we start working. No, before we start work, I asked him, where are you from? He said, I'm from Jordan.
Huh.
Oh, nice. Welcome from Jordan. You know, salam alaikum. I say, what is your name, brother? I say, my name is Yazid.
Oh.
And this is before we start sparring. And I'm like, okay. Bro, I never have same feeling when I hit him. I never have same feeling in my life when I hit him. I have double, triple relax in my soul here. You know, every single time I attack him, I feel wow. Honestly, I don't know. Like I feel so good.
Yeah, there are certain names that put you off, and there are certain countries that you can never understand their love for naming those names. Saudi Arabia, Morocco, and Jordan have an unbelievable preoccupation with naming Sufyan, Yazid, you know, as if nothing's happened historically. It's unbelievable.
Let me add
Bakhair. Yes, Qari, tell me.
Our brother Rafael. I've met him the first time, it's been like 4 years ago, I think, when I went to my first Arba'in. I've met him there. So once a year, at least, I see Rafa, and that's on Arba'in. And it's been a really honor for me to meet him. And I've told him always, whether it was before his fights, after his fights, whenever we've met, I've told him, listen, for us, it does not matter if you win, if you lose, the fact that you were there on that kind of stage, with that pride, you say all those things.
You're a winner always.
Always, and we are really proud of you. And it's a really honor for me to have a brother like Rafael, who is present every in Arba'in and even has hosted the first ever Russian Arba'in Majalis in Karbala. It's been now 2 years, 3 years that we have very only Russian programs in Karbala that he is one of the initiators.
That's absolutely amazing. And this is always the glowing feedback we get about Rafa from everybody who knows him. You know, and we had an opportunity.
Every year we're going to see each other.
Inshallah, we're all going to be together again. You will not eat as many chicken wings as you ate last time. Inshallah.
Good place in Baghdad, Abu Taiba. Good place in Baghdad.
God help me. Of
You know,
all the
everybody's saying
places.
about this Iraqi fish. I still don't try this Iraqi fish.
That's why you're still
This fish they're saying
in good shape,
on the
Habibi.
grill like
Don't
that. I
worry.
still
You
never
haven't tried
tried.
Mezgul?
Bro,
Here we
I
go.
never tried yet.
Me neither.
I have
Huh?
to. You too?
No, me neither.
Oh.
Boss,
Sayed Ammar.
Really?
Sayed
Don't make
Ammar, I blame
it.
you.
Don't make it seem like they're missing out on something crazy. Let's be real.
No,
over here.
Mezgul. No.
It's nice. It's Iraqi. It's a nice dish, but not missing out on something
I blame Sayed
absolutely out of
Ammar.
this world.
I blame Sayed Ammar.
La, inshallah, we're going to take Rafa out. The whole team. Sayed Ammar live is going to take the Azeri and the Afghani with us, inshallah, to taste the Iraqi food. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on. You don't know how much of an inspiration both of you are to so many people. And may Allah bless you all. And we'll see you all very soon. And do not forget me in your du'as. And Rafa, keep being amazing, man. So many people love you.
Habibi Said.
God bless you. Thanks, guys. Ma'a salama. Thank you very much. Qari. Ma'a salama, habibi. Thank you. Ma'a salama. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Minnie, how inspiring was that?
He's fantastic, honestly. And when I tell you my brother's reaction at 5 a.m., he's Shiite. I was like, of course
I know,
he
bro.
is.
I know, and it's amazing when you meet proud Shia.
Yeah, he's got no shame in it whatsoever. Even his Instagram, he doesn't care about this whole PR stuff. If he finds a clip of the Shrine of Amir al-Mu'mineen, he will post on his story proudly, whether they like it, they don't like it. And by the way, this whole Ali Yasir Zaman, I had no idea Khabib and Islam Makhachev was sitting in the crowd.
I didn't know that as well. I didn't know that they were both sitting at the front.
That was new.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. You know, and you know what? Sometimes, as I said, those who are proud that they're Shia, they inspire many.
Yeah.
And sometimes the only people who stop us from being proud to be Shia are sometimes our own Shia. As in, you might get from your own community, why you talk about Shia so much, why you so proud to be Shia. You're just relax. Enjoy the moment. You don't know don't know when your last day is on this earth. Be proud to carry that flag, to fly that flag everywhere.
And sorry to cut you off. I remember you mentioned it in when we met him in person in Dubai, and as we were going back to the hotel, you said that Rafa is so inspiring because he was that night flying out to the States for his training camp, and he asked you, Sayed, how about with the direction changes of the plane? How do I pray on the plane? It's a long flight. And you're like, wow, look, he's got all the, he's got the success in dunya, but he's still looking after his salah and looking after his deen. And I think that, for me, inspiration.
Absolute inspiration. And, we meet inspirational people from all walks of life. And, that segment was one where we're super happy, super excited to have, a person on the world stage join us on Sayed Ammar live. But you talk about inspiration, and you talk about people who are proud to be Shia. On a sadder note, we lost a scholar in Damascus, Syria, in the Sayyidah Zainab area last week. Sayyid Farhan al-Mansour was the Imam and the main speaker at the Haram of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. And sadly, disappointingly, and everybody's got a right to be angry as well, he was assassinated as he left the Friday prayers. Basri, please introduce us to this segment.
نعم أحمد، بالفعل الحقيقة هو حدث أمني وقع في منطقة السيدة زينب قرب العاصمة دمشق. الحقيقة نحن الآن أمام روايتين. الرواية الأولى، التقديرات الأمنية تقول بأن الرجل قتل بعبوة ناسفة زرعت داخل سيارته أو أسفل سيارته. الرواية الثانية، قنبلة يدوية ألقيت في سيارته ومن ثم انفجرت. بكل الأحوال.
As you could all see, and you all saw in that segment, he was assassinated. They still don't know exactly who's done it. It's not surprising that the assassinations continue. I was, in a way, saddened that a lot of Shia in the community, especially in the West, did not have this on their stories when it came to Instagram or when it came to their social media. Partly I wasn't surprised, partly I was disappointed. Like, when there's other causes which maybe win you a few more views or followers, then straight away they'll put them on. But when it's a Shia Maulana or scholar in the Sayyidah Zainab Haram area, it's like, why should I upload this, or why should I put this on my story? And I think sometimes people need to reflect that if you are one ummah and you want to keep talking about if one part of the body is hurt, then the whole body is hurt. Firstly, you as a Shia community, for example, in the UK, how many of you put on your stories online, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Snapchat, whether it's your Twitter feeds, whether any of these, how many of you made sure that you posted or reposted or retweeted that this man has been mercilessly killed and assassinated? And always this whole idea has been given to us that you people are perpetrators of crimes in Syria, and I'll get to that very shortly. How about this crime? Who is it that's done this crime? And why don't they just come forward and say that, yeah, we find it normal to kill Shia or to behead Shia or to execute Shia? In a period when you constantly are talking about the fact that you're capturing a lot of Assad's old brigadiers and generals who committed horrific crimes. But how about in this case? Why won't you upload something here? Or does the Shia life not matter? Because I see many in the Sunni world at the moment who will post if it's something which concerns them. But the moment it's a Shia who dies, there's no post whatsoever. And I'd like to address this particular issue in all honesty about the Shia and Syria, because we've been given a lot of bad press as a madhab in Syria, outside of Syria. I don't think in Syria there's more than 400,000 Shia, by the way. And I think that might surprise many. I think if you ask your average Shi'i, who is Iraqi or Iranian or Lebanese or Afghan or Pakistani or wherever, ask them how many Shia are in Syria. Syria, this huge state. How many Shia are there in Syria? I don't think there's more than 300, 400,000 Shia in the whole of Syria. Sometimes when you hear the media, it makes you think that there's like a community of like 15 million Shia in Syria and all they've been doing is oppressing everybody. When the reality is that there's not more than 300, 400,000. And the current situation for the Shia is worse than it's ever been. Because I think that there are groups, I'm not going to generalize on everybody in Syria. I think there are groups who are looking to exterminate the whole Shia community. In the name of what? In the name of Alawi is Shi'i, Shi'i is Alawi. So there are a lot of people who cannot differentiate between the Alawiyya and the Ithna Ashariya, for example. A lot of people have put them all on the same boat. So you could be an Ithna Ashari living in the Sayyidah Zainab area, but because you somehow have a similarity to, let's say, the Alawi, and because the Alawis or the Nusayris are an offshoot of 12 Shi'ism, automatically everybody is grouped in the same way. Automatically, the Husayniyya, for example, belonging to an Ithna Ashari Shi'i community somewhere, is burnt down because either it's affiliated or related to the Alawiyya, or because of what's happened after the Arab Spring until today. So now, I'd like to address something for everybody at home, and this is a bit of a deep dive, to go into an understanding of why is there this venomous hatred against the Shia in Syria. Now, I'm not going to go back 1400 years, because I could go down the Abban Anjad route, okay? I could go down the route of La Yalidu Illa Fajran Kafara. I could go down that route. I could go down the route of, you know what, they've just inherited a hate, but I'm not going to go down that route. I'd like to open up just, you know, a bit of maybe a geopolitical academic discussion on this area. And that really is to try and understand contemporary political Shi'ism and Sunnism at the same time. So everybody knows that the Sunni community in Syria and outside of Syria, okay, primarily, especially in countries like Jordan, countries like Egypt, they had a severe hatred for Hafez al-Assad. Okay, Hafez al-Assad, like Saddam Hussein, pan-Arab, Ba'athist, nationalist, Uruba, the importance of the Arab identity, and most importantly, he was someone who did not believe that the Sharia is the source of all authority. Okay, he comes from an Alawite sect. This Alawite sect, really in Sunni Islam, is seen as being kuffar. Okay, we have to be very frank about that. So the Alawites have existed since the last 1,000 years in their different denominations and belief systems. They are a group who, in their most extreme tendencies, of course, are raising Imam Ali to the status of God. Okay, and of course, that for us as Ithna Ashariya is what we would term ghulat, and we would call these people disbelievers as well, and mushrikeen, and our A'imma would do la'na on those people who started to either claim that Imams were God, or that they were God, or that they were God in manifestation, and so on and so forth. Now, the Alawites, of course, come to power in Syria, and of course, Hafez al-Assad comes to power from 1970 onwards. And it's around that time that in the Muslim world, you've either got Hafez al-Assad, Michel Aflaq, of course, being the ideologue of the Ba'athist thinking. You've got Saddam Hussein and his cousins really in power in Iraq. Okay, the Ba'athist coup has risen in Iraq, it's risen in Syria. And at that time, who's their opposition? Their opposition are very similar, but one is Shia and one Sunni. The Shia opposition to the Ba'athists would be those who are pretty much on the same page as the Sunni opposition to the Ba'athists. So in the Sunni world, you had the Islamic Brotherhood, the Ikhwan, okay? And in the Shia world, you had a few people who are very much inspired by the Ikhwan or the ideologues or the thinkers of the Ikhwan. People like Hassan al-Banna, Sayyid Muhammad Qutb. And of course, people who are inspired by them are people like Nawab Safawi. So Nawab Safawi, one of the main people of the Fidaiyin, a group in Iran who are very much against the Shah and the policies of the Shah. And this group, the Fidaiyin, are ready to take out their vengeance with assassinations that we actually see in Iran at that time. And Nawab Safawi is someone who is praised, of course, by Ayatollah Khamenei, praised by Ayatollah al-Khomeini. And of course, people like Ayatollah Khamenei end up translating the works of ideologues of the Islamic Brotherhood like Sayyid Muhammad Qutb. So the Islamic Brotherhood, as an Islamic movement where Sharia is the source of authority, has now gained traction in the Sunni world, primarily in Egypt, but also from Egypt all the way to Syria. And in the Shia world, you've got a rising now in the 50s and the 60s with people who are very much affected by the Islamic Brotherhood, by the movement of the Islamic Brotherhood, and that is primarily seen in Iran, but also in Iraq. The works of people who call for the Khilafah, like Taqiyuddin al-Nahbani and Hizb al-Tahrir and so on, you see that the Da'wah party has certain members who are very much working in tandem or have the same ideology in certain cases. Now, someone's saying, okay, so how does that affect Syria? So how it affects Syria is that the Islamic Brotherhood begins to rise against Hafez al-Assad. And Hafez al-Assad has no problem whatsoever with purges against the Brotherhood, imprisoning members of the Brotherhood. There are others, of course, who have problems with Hafez al-Assad. But I think at the same time, what you have is that the Islamic Brotherhood are the main, most outspoken critics of Hafez al-Assad. Okay? And at the same time, Hafez al-Assad, when the Iranian Revolution happens, the Islamic Brotherhood are actually happy with the Iranian Revolution. And Hafez al-Assad does not have an issue with the Iranian Revolution. And so what you have now is a position which Ayatollah al-Khomeini has to take. Because people like the main thinkers or the main leaders of the Islamic Brotherhood in Syria, people like Sayed al-Hawa, for example, who is one of the main thinkers of the Islamic Brotherhood, May 1979, is visiting Ayatollah Khomeini, is telling him that, listen, we the Brotherhood are with you. If you're establishing an Islamic State, Sharia is the source of your authority, although we may differ slightly as to whether it comes from God or from whether it comes from the Imam of the time as a representative. People like Sayed al-Hawa, who of course dies about 10 years after the revolution in Jordan, these Islamic Brotherhood members, they are fully behind Ayatollah al-Khomeini. But Ayatollah al-Khomeini decides that he's going to side with Hafez al-Assad and not the Islamic Brotherhood. And from that day onwards, the Islamic Brotherhood, who do have a Salafi inclination, of course, in their readings, in their teachings, person can go back to Rashid Rida and other Syrians to see different levels of the Salafi movement, they decide that in the early 80s, they're going to rise against Hafez al-Assad. Of course, in Hama, Hafez al-Assad absolutely batters them. And Ayatollah al-Khomeini offers no support to a group of people who in the 70s believed him, Ayatollah Khamenei, who was much younger, Nawab al-Safavi, they believed that these people were really with them on the same page. The Islamic Brotherhood was never going to forget a number of things. They were never going to forget what Hafez al-Assad done to them. And they were never going to forget that the Iranian Revolution never supported them. And that's why Sayed al-Hawa in 1987 begins to write books about the Iranian movement not being an Islamic movement. It's an Iranian nationalist movement. And he even begins to say that even if you want to call it Shia heretics, this man leading them is a heretic. And now we have a real sensitivity. Hafez al-Assad is still in power. And I'd like to make something very clear over here. A lot of times people say, you see, you Shia, you are the ones who butchered the Sunnis in Syria. The Sunni families in Syria, many of them, the most wealthy of them, were in very strong positions. I ask you a question. In all this period of the Assad family, how many Shia Ithna Ashariya, not Alawiya, not Sunni, were in governmental roles or governmental positions? To the extent that I, who studied in the Hawza, in Sayyidah Zainab, cannot remember a mayor of the area known as the Ghouta area of Damascus or the Rif area, whatever you want to call it, the Zainabiyya area. I can't remember that there was even a Shi'i, Ithna Ashari, who was the mayor of that particular area. If you look at some of the most famous families who were ruling, they were Sunni families who had a lot of the contracts, who had a lot of the businesses, who had a lot of army positions. Go and look at the Muallim family, for example. Go and look at the Tlas family, for example. The Shahabi family, for example. The Zu'bi family, for example. These were all families who were of a Sunni background. If Syria is 85-90% Sunni, there were a lot of people who were under Assad, both the father and the son, who were Sunnis, who ended up killing Sunnis. In the same way, Saddam Hussein had people working for him in the Yemen and the Mukhabarat who were Shia, who were snitching on Shia. That was the case in Saddam's time. And likewise, that was the case in Syria, where you had members of the Sunni community who were snitching on members of the Sunni community as well. But again, who was to blame? It was always the Alawites. And the Alawites means that they are Ithna Ashari Shia. No, they are not. And that is again a line that has to be drawn. There are Alawites who are Ithna Ashari. And there are some who are not. There are Alawites who are religious, Ithna Asharis. And there are some who are not. There are Alawites who attend lectures of 12 Shia speakers and believe in the 12 Imams. There are others who prefer a more batani interpretation or an esoteric dimension to the way they view religion. There are some who are extremists and there are some who are not. And there are some who are perpetrators of some of the worst massacres. And there are some who completely stayed away from all of this. And so when the Arab Spring happened in 2011, you found that there were a number of groups that had emerged. And a lot of these groups were groups who were radicals and terrorists. And then you also had people who had every right, like any country, for the members of the country or the citizens of the state to air their views or to at least have more rights, at least have more freedom, at least have more economic opportunities than the economy being in the hands of the leader, his cousins, and a few family friends. But to turn all this on the whole of the Ithna Ashari Shia community was because of the fact that Iran was very close to Assad. Iran was close to Assad because everybody else had stabbed Iran in the back when Saddam Hussein fought them in the 80s. It's well documented that Saudi Arabia pumped billions to Saddam's cause in fighting Iran. And it's documented that Western powers, Western superpowers, were all supporting Saddam in his war against Iran. And it was only Hafez al-Assad who stood with Iran. And so Iran had relations with Hafez al-Assad, not necessarily because they believed Hafez al-Assad was God's gift when it came to religiosity, nor because they believed that necessarily that he was a man who was free or devoid of any corruption in his government, but because they had somebody who in the Arab Middle East that was completely against the Majus Shia of Iran, they had a voice who stood with them. And likewise, they felt the same diplomatic relations were had with Bashar, in the same way that certain Sunni countries may have diplomatic relations with somebody like Erdogan without necessarily believing in the way that Sharia law may be administered or not, even within Turkey. And so all of a sudden, in the last years, we keep seeing more and more numbers about how the Shia are the ones who killed everybody in Syria. We know very well that Jolani, amongst others, admits how close they were to Abu Bakr Baghdadi. These were what? Syrian freedom fighters. Or they were an Iraqi ex-Ba'athist who suddenly was ruling a group of people from Chechnya and Tunisia and Syria, and people in Syria who deserved to have their voices heard and maybe were not heard, but now it was a mix. And now there were suicide bombs everywhere. And now there were people who were saying that we're going to bomb Zainab's shrine. I have no issue if you believe that you want to take out an Iranian or you want to take out an Iraqi or a Lebanese Shi'i who's fighting on the front lines. You take them out one-on-one, you've got your own movement. But when you begin to say that we're going to bomb all of these Shia shrines one by one, and we're going to destroy these shrines, and we're going to destroy all of these domes, because these are a group of heretics, now that discussion moves on to another level. And of course, in the downfall of Assad, all of a sudden, you had different groups of Shia who have now been assassinated. Maulanas who cannot breathe. And I cannot say that this is the same for every Sunni country in the world. Sunni majority countries in the world, there are some which are shining examples where there may be ulama in the eastern province of Saudi Arabia who still till today give lectures in Muharram wa Shahr Ramadan. And there are some in Bahrain who have given lectures in Muharram for many years, and in Kuwait. And of course we see the tide turning quite obviously because of what we're seeing in the media. But now, unfortunately, the Shia community is being rounded up one by one. Anybody who is seen as being Ithna Ashari is now facing the worst poverty, is now being disgraced. They are now being assassinated. And indeed, Minhal, you see as well as I saw the clips from the funeral of Sayyid Farhan al-Mansour, and how many people had themselves come forward and said that the Sayyid was as peaceful a personality as you can get. He didn't want any sectarianism to happen anywhere in that area. And then this funeral took place.
نرفض نسبة هذه الفعل أن نثبت هذا الفعل إلى أي جهة من الجهات قبل أن تسفر التحقيقات عن نتائج واضحة وبينة. ولا نريد في نفس الوقت أن نضيع دماء الشهداء ودماء العلماء باتهامات زائفة وبمحاولات من الحاقدين والفتنويين والطائفيين لنسبته إلى جهة معينة دون جهة أخرى. ولذلك أنا أقول دائما لنفسي وللإخوة المؤمنين للجميع: ولا تقف ما ليس لك به علم، إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا، وإن بعض الظن إثم. ولذلك ينبغي أن ننتظر جميعا النتائج. ونحن نتمنى على الدولة السورية والحكومة السورية ووزارة الداخلية أن تجري تحقيقا سريعا وأن تسفر عن النتائج في أسرع وقت حتى نقطع ألسنة الذين يتربصون ببلدنا وبأمتنا الفتنة والحرائق الطائفية والنعرات الطائفية. وإن شاء الله دائما هذه الدماء لابد أن تثمر خيرا للجميع.
Minhal Habibi, tell us more. How have you been feeling when you hear all of this? You've been Sayyidah Zainab, of course, we've all been together. Tell us more.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, I'm eternally grateful that I managed to make a trip to Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam shrine. And obviously, thanks to you and your documentary on the Sayyidah alayhi salam. it reminds me of Iraq all over again, to be honest with you, Sayed. As soon as I heard he was coming out of the shrine of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, bomb under his car or grenade into his car, it just reminded me of Sayyid Muhammad Baqir al-Hakim, rahmatullahi alayh, when that happened in Najaf. But also, Sayyid, we've been hearing from the ground. So my mum actually sponsors a blind man in Syria, and he's obviously of the Ithna Ashari Shia, and he lives around the area of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. And he said, when he was speaking to my mum, and he said when they first sort of entered the area of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, you're seeing a blind man. You hit him and throw him to the ground and say, you Shi'i Rafidi, you kafir. Baba, he's blind. He can't even help himself. And do you know what? It's sad. Like I said, Iraq all over again. Shia's being butchered. And there's not enough outrage. I don't think there's enough outrage when a Shi'i gets killed.
I think Minhal as well, as I just mentioned, I just feel that also many of the Shia don't know the history of that area. You know what I mean? And when you don't know the history of that area, you want to see things black and white. The Sunni wants to see things black and white. And I don't think a lot of people know that, okay, if the Islamic Brotherhood was mercilessly treated by Hafid al-Assad, they wanted an Islamic state of sorts. And of course, the whole of that area was completely finished. Just because Ayatollah Khomeini then doesn't take you guys on board, it doesn't mean that everybody else has to pay because one segment of the Shia world at that time, in the late 70s, early 80s, did not take on board your proposal. And if Ayatollah Khomeini had his own worldview in terms of, I'm going to go with Hafid al-Assad, instead of, let's say, Sayed al-Hawa and others of the Brotherhood, okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that the whole of the Shi'i world had that stand. And then, of course, later on, that Shi'i hatred that they had means that in some cases, it's blinded them that when they see any Shi'i who is doing anything in Syria, automatically that person has to be killed. That person is an oppressor. And I don't think that just comes because of Hafid al-Assad or Bashar or any of the relations they had. Hafid and Bashar have relations with other countries as well. And they don't show the same amount of venom. For example, Saddam Hussein, they'll never show the same venom to Saddam as being someone who is not pro-Islamic state. What did Saddam do in helping the Ikhwan? Nothing. But that same venom towards Saddam will not be done. And the same venom towards a Shi'i leader, it is two completely different ball games. You're not going to find that same venom happening. Yeah.
You mentioned when they wanted to attack the shrine of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam and destroy the shrine of Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, and it's that whole thing that started with what's that guy's name, Jamus, whatever his name was, saying Ja'inak Karbala.
Yeah. Again, you see these clips. We're coming to Karbala and, we're going to come and behead you, or we're going to behead some Shia. Yeah. Again, it's either a mixture of illiteracy, mixture of people who don't know the difference between Alawi and Ithna Ashari. And again, I repeat, there are people who are Alawi today who may be Ithna Ashari as well. I've met in Australia people of the Alawi community who are very much more Ithna Ashari than some Ithna Ashari. But I've also met people in Syria who everything was about Imam Ali, and there was sometimes not even a mention of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family, and you meet all different types.
Yeah.
But I think it was interesting how they bombed the shrine of Ammar bin Yasir, Uwais al-Qarani, Khuzaymah bin Thabit, which is of course in Raqqa. But the shrine of Khalid ibn al-Walid is sanctified, and that has to be respected and that has to be honored. And if they find that this person has done jihad in nikah, and this person has beheaded people, this person has done terrorism, today he could be the best person ever. The double standards are unbelievable. If the Shia do something, then we have to fight them. But if the same thing is happening, for example, Israel does something in a part of Syria, no, ahlan wa sahlan, tfaddalu. When can we bring you chai? You know, so sometimes you got these unbelievable double standards that even some in the Sunni world, we have to admit as well, have called out the double standards that, hold on a minute, you're always ready to fight the Shia Majus or the Shia Mushrik. But when it comes to the Israeli, you guys are nowhere to be seen. But, you know, I don't even know Sayyid Farhan's family. I just know that he had such a good reputation in the area. And I just know, having spoken to a couple of my friends who are still living in the Sayyidah Zainab area, that they're just like to me, said, Ammar, our situation as Shia is precarious. Poverty is bad. We don't know when we're just going to be picked up and executed or assassinated. The government will say, and he admits to me, he says, the government has got certain people who are trying to remove these types of extremists, because it's not in their interest as well to always have stories come out about this. But he's like, I think the saddest thing that he said to me was, a lot of the Shia worldwide have forgotten the Shia of Syria. I know there are Shia in London. They will post 7,000 things about Palestine. And if you tell them, Sayyidah Zainab, someone dies, I haven't got a clue, Sayyidah Zainab. It's Palestine, Gaza, I'll post all of this. But when it comes to Shia Afghanistan, they'll never post. If there's a demonstration for Shia in Pakistan, they will never be at the demonstration. It will always be whatever suits the interest of the peer pressure at that particular moment. And we pray for everyone's hidayah, inshallah. We read, in all honesty, a Fatiha in honor of Sayyid Farhan, and may Allah give patience to his family. I remember you had Sheikh Rasul Shahood and Hams who had been killed, and Sayyid Farhan and others, you know, ulama who are representing a minority of the minority that you could even say is a Bedouin number when it comes to a tribe of 300, 400,000. But hey, some people, their venom is a venom from, you know, the 80s, and they're not going to let that go. So
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Did you ever have an encounter in your studies in Damascus? Did you ever have an encounter with Sayyid Farhan?
No, I never met him. I can't remember him. I was speaking with a friend of ours yesterday who says that, you know, he's been there for years, but it doesn't ring a bell for me. We might have crossed paths at the time when I was studying there, but it doesn't ring a bell for me. But I was speaking with a couple of people, and they were just saying, well, you know, a great guy he was. Listen, if we said Rafa was inspirational,
yeah,
to continue living in the Sayyidah Zainab area, while you know at any second, listen, I speak with friends all the time, and like, you know, shall we go to visit Sayyidah Zainab and go to the shrine? And everybody's like, no, forget it, in a bit, allow it. And of course, it makes sense. Yeah, and it's not something outrageous for somebody to say, look, it's difficult to go. But for someone to stay there as a khatib, wearing a amama, when he could have easily done what others did. You know, as soon as the suqut happened of the Nizam, a lot of people in that area suddenly picked up and left. And listen, you can't blame someone who's picked up and left, but they left a community that has no real guidance, except one or two left now. I don't know what to say. I think that our minds around the world have to come together. I think, once again, I do hear murmurs that Jolani contacted the new Iraqi PM, isn't it? And you congratulated him. I hear murmurs that Iran and Jolani are trying to, you know, find ways to, you know, have diplomatic relations. And sometimes it'd probably be naive not to, although Iran probably has so much on its plate right now. We move on to the next segment, a new segment, and that's called Something That's Baffled Said Ammar. Okay, I literally play something that's baffled me, and I will not comment on it. I'll just say that this has just baffled me, and I wonder if it baffles you. Basri play Baffle of the Week.
Ali bin Abi Talib, first of all, was the most knowledgeable amongst the Sahaba, period. Abu Bakr used to consult him, Umar al-Khattab used to consult him, radiallahu anhum. And Umar basically acknowledged that Ali is more knowledgeable than himself and everybody else. So he's more knowledgeable. He's one of the first early believers in the Ummah, period. He was with the Rasulullah for all his life. He defended the Rasulullah with his own body, his own life. Like Ali bin Abi Talib is the mawla of every believer, period.
Wouldn't all these things give him merit to be the political leader? Like
we
you're
just
saying
said
all
no.
these things.
We just said no. We just said no.
But you're mentioning so many things that would build up his case. Like, you know, he's all knowledgeable.
I'm saying, even though with all this righteousness, he doesn't have to be. You see what I'm saying? with all of this, his righteousness, he doesn't have to be the political leader. Because see, leadership necessitates certain attributes. Not every single person who's righteous has these attributes.
I'm not going to comment. But that was Baffled of the Week. Now we move on to your favorite segment of the show, of course, and that is...
Wait. That video...
You can't comment. Baffled of the Week, there's no comments.
No,
You just got to be
I-
baffed.
Okay, I'm baffled.
Say I'm baffled.
No, I was going to play...
What, was I right on the baffled?
Yeah, baffled.
How baffling was that? But let's not comment, because Baffled of the Week cannot be commented on.
Okay, usually Iraqi has a response.
Even at this moment, talking of the Iraqi response, Basri, play it and let's go. Minnie, what do you have in store for us today?
So, a trend that's been going on for quite a while in Iraq is the haircuts. Now, I know, looking back at old photos of, let's say, my dad, my uncles, my grandfather, you know, the hairstyles are pretty okay. Yani short, short hair and everything.
No,
But
there's some mad old Iraqi dad pictures, bro. The perm, that was a classic one. You know, the
Sayed, don't say a bit too much now.
Okay, sorry. Let's go ahead. So, yeah, go ahead.
So, recently, I'd say in the last 10 years, this new style of Iraqi haircuts where they're just throwing makeup on everyone, I think that should go on Baffled of the Week. But let's, Basri, play the clip, please.
خويا حمود اليوم جايب لك عمر نيمونه بدك ترتبنا
شو عده اليوم؟ بدي شده
عندها خطبه اليوم مش عارف عده
I'm gonna say that I'm laughing with rather than at what's just happened, but it's wrong on so many levels.
Yeah.
I
think the makeup or purple pink blending.
What's going on? Like what's going
lipstick.
on? Firstly, the wax. If we're gonna get the wax done normally in a local Turkish barber here in London, you might get that the guy puts either wax in your nostrils or in the ear, or there's always a couple who might do around the eyebrows, for example, for a little cleanup.
Or here, for example.
Why the whole face needed to be waxed? Okay, that's number one.
Yeah.
The whole face was waxed.
Yeah.
What happened with the cream and the pink cream on top that looked like, I don't know, was it a gâteau or a jelly? What was going on there?
Well, they want to make their faces a bit whiter. So the pink and the foundation blended in makes them a bit more يسمونها أحمراني خدودة طماطية
خدودة طماطية برو أحمراني أشقراني خدودة طماطية. I think when we were younger, the ideal wife in the eyes of every mom was there would be a particular word about her looks. Shagra. That would be it. Shagra.
خدودها حمر.
Yeah. خدودها حمر.
Hey.
So, but that was for the poor girl. But why are these guys now coming out with خدود حمر? And please explain to me one more thing.
Yeah.
The lipstick. Since when? Yeah. Can you understand what's happening in the mind there or no? We've produced the best doctors. We've produced the best philosophers. We've produced the best thinkers. And then at the end, lipstick. Also, the suit that's about 16 sizes too small What's going on there? Why
No,
is
the
why is the
colour.
jacket shorter than the waistcoat?
Why is the color green? Except no, because you have Kazu next to you, right?
Yeah, he's sitting here and he's
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely losing it completely.
Kazu's the head of fashion. Let's agree. Kazu's dresses
100%.
head of fashion. Can Kazu explain to us what the color green has to do with anything?
The irony is he's wearing green at the moment.
La.
He's wearing a proper Zaytuni at the moment. But I think it might be sitting on him better than it was sitting on that lad. But that lad, you know what? He came out of the whole thing and just like, you know, you might have the odd shave or the odd haircut on your wedding day and you're just like why didn't I do it yesterday? It's just gone a bit. This lad has done that on his wedding day.
Yeah.
And he's
worn
looked at the barber with full happiness.
Did you see the barber's kiss at the end?
Yeah, the barber's kiss was a baffler.
That I'm worried about.
Yeah, the barber's kiss, I don't know what was happening there. And there's also another thing. Do you remember when we were younger, there was a classic Iraqi line, and I'm going to tell you now and you'll remember it. What was it? روح مشط. Yeah? Or جيب المشط. وين المشط؟
هذا
مشط شعرك. مشط طيلة. When you're a kid. There you go. The mishot is there. That's the legendary mishot. My bro, that guy at the end, if our dads saw that, you would be getting a clip round your ear.
Yeah.
I'll be going to a funeral, not
Yeah, out, gone. Gone.
Do you know what the more baffling one is? Why is he wearing his wedding suit in the barber shop?
I didn't even think about that one. That's true. Why would your wedding suit be there and then in the barbershop?
because that's what the arosa does.
Yes, but not us lot. We stay last minute, last second. Everyone's panicking and losing it because of how calm we are.
Well, you can't
Yeah.
compare that arosa with that aris.
Lipstick, waxing,
Foundation.
kissing,
Arosa.
foundation.
Arosa.
Mini, I'll never understand what's in the Iraqi mind. And I'm sure you're going to show us another clip right now.
Yeah, the second one, please.
مرحبا زبائن الكرام بأعزائي سيف العراق. شوفوا لي الترتيب، شوفوا لي نزاكة القطعة. روح الله ياك. يلا ايه النزاكة هاي.
Explain to me what's going on, Minai, because I know you've watched this about 6,000 times. Tell us what's going on, Mini.
So in the caption it says, when you don't have any females to model for you for female clothes. So he's put plastic bin bags on the top of these guys' workers' heads. And he's made them do fashion shows. Now, if you look at Kazu, I don't know, has Kazu been to any fashion shows?
Yeah, he's been to a few, yeah.
Yeah, so imagine these guys.
Quite ironically, Kazu, I do think that there'll be some fashion shows that have put those things on their heads as fashion. Balenciaga, yeah, they would do something like that. Balenciaga once sold a battaniya. I don't know, Basri. I'll rate you if you could do this. Type Balenciaga blanket bag or something like that. It's a Iraqi battaniya that they sold. Yeah, you remember the battaniya, the one with the nimr or the asad?
No, they just beat that.
I just found it.
Find it, send it to Basri. Let's have it on here. By the way, the reason Minhaj's not here is because he's back at his university doing some work. So that's just in case someone says, why is he not on the sofa with you? Yeah, sorry, Kazu, you were saying?
They've just released a Balenciaga cardboard box.
Balenciaga cardboard box. So we shouldn't just say it's in the Iraqi mind. It's in the... What's Balenciaga? What's that? French brand, Spanish brand? Wallah, I don't even know.
Iraqis set the trends.
We set the trends. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. Basra, have you found the Iraqi battaniya? This is crazy. Oh my Lord Almighty. Balenciaga was selling it. Do you know for how much? £2,150.
How much?
Yeah.
How much?
£2,150.
تعال الشارجة اجيب لك 10 ب 15,000.
He's been waiting for that line. Solid. And your final clip of the week.
It's similar to the first video.
Let's see.
Just because you enjoyed it so much.
حمودي اليوم جيناك ولدك الزين سجاد بن عمتي وشوفك تعبان وباكر عرسه اريدك تطلع لنا غير شكل.
ملخني.
بس الكاميرا ما مشتغله كذب بس راح تصور كذب. راح تصور كذب على التصوير.
Well, for Sajjad to be 13 and getting married is an achievement, in all honesty.
Listen,
Minnie, have we moved from Iraqis either definitely having beards or having opposite no beard?
No, but listen. Never trust an Iraqi when they tell you their height. Because that hair going that far up.
Yeah.
Gave him about 19 inches on his height.
No, there's something, you got to admit when you do go there, you wonder about the shampoo products that we use because they got some lethal hair. You could put Ilich Abu Sahm. You could put Dettol. Yeah. Ilich Abu Sahm, Wrigley's. You could put Dettol. You could put, what else? You could put Schwender in there, Krafos. You could put everything in there and it'll still hang in, bro. It'll still hang in. You could put Kimyawi. You could put the Forat with the Coke cans everywhere and someone doing ghusl in it in the summer on Ziyar. And it'll still hang in that hair. It's
These guys
something
go
else,
bold.
bro. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, man. Minnie, thank you so much.
Habibi,
thank everyone at home.
Amazing episode.
Really well done. Really amazing. Both happy and sad. I suppose the story of life. Sometimes mixture of emotions. And inshallah, we look forward to seeing all of you next week in what should be another wonderful show looking at the rise of Islamophobia here and abroad and some of the Muslims who are being targeted, where we'll have some interesting guests discussing this. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.